Hi, well, what an honor it is to have my friend Scott Dittman here with us today. And you might recognize that name, but not by Scott,
Yeah.
right? Because everybody calls you Howie.
Correct.
Is that right?
Yeah, most people do now.
Okay, well, welcome to the Butler Buzz. We're honored to have you with us.
Super excited to be here.
Yeah, and first I'd like to talk about, your passion for Butler County, helping Butler County, which is a very popular Facebook group. When did that start? Why did it start?
About 7 years ago, we recognized, started getting involved in some of the nonprofit things that were going on in the community, and we recognized that some of the homeless folks in the area were staying in the woods just outside of town, and there wasn't a Sunday noon meal. There wasn't like a lunch on Sundays typically. So we started going down, and a handful of us started going down and just setting up under the trestle.
Okay.
Every Sunday, and we'd take generators and watch a football game, and we'd take rigatoni or whatever we could
Sure.
make in a big pot. And it just ballooned from there. It was kind of a quiet thing at first. It wasn't something we're like, hey, we're going to do this. But
Right.
next thing you know, folks are showing up to give them haircuts and, we'll give them clothing and everything. And when we got those folks, the key thing that happened with that, though, is we realized that it was an opportunity to connect them with resources that could help them longer term than us showing up on a Sunday for 2 hours.
Right.
Right. And that's where the whole thing launched. And it ended up after we had them. I mean, we literally even had jackets for their dogs,
Oh,
right,
cute.
for those that had pets. And we decided, well, we can do this for the county. So we started up helping Butler County
Okay.
on Facebook. We have about 6,000 members now.
Awesome.
And it's really nice because the organizations, a lot of times, we have so many great organizations here in Butler County, and
do.
they'll say, hey, we have this family who was previously homeless, and we can get them an apartment, but they need everything. They need a microwave, they need a table, they need chairs, they need beds for the children, and everyone has something. That's what we realized, is that everyone has something in their basement or something that they're willing. They got an extra set of silverware for their
Sure,
wedding,
sure,
that
sure.
somebody didn't mark it off the list. And it's been really great because there's several things about it. People know exactly where their donations are going. Not exactly, right? We don't give personal information out, but they know the case. They know that it's not going into storage. They know it's not going somewhere that is just going to be lost in the abyss, right? It's a family that has a story that's working to get back on their feet, and
Right.
your item that's stuck in your basement or in your garage is going to be something that
Now
can
it has
help
a
them.
purpose, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So yes, check out Helping Butler County on Facebook, and I know from seeing it myself that you often even just post other types of events and things going on in the community
Oh, yeah.
that could benefit others.
Absolutely.
But I also wanted to talk about something that you started 3 years ago,
Yeah.
and that is EVIG. And
Absolutely.
EVIG is what?
EVIG is we have a for-profit and a nonprofit branch.
Okay.
And EVIG is EVIG, right? It's give back. That's the little catch on that. But,
Okay.
we do basically the same thing but we want to do it on a larger scale. So we try to identify needs in the community or even well outside of our community where things could be benefited. So that's kind of where I know you wanted to talk
I want to talk about
little
these cards.
so-
This was such a creative idea.
Yeah.
We call these retention cards.
Yeah, so a retention card, I'm sure everyone's familiar with them. You get them when your veterinarian sends them to you, your eye doctor sends them to you to say, hey, it's been a year, it's time to come back in.
Right.
And they're typically kind of not
Generic,
very, yeah,
right?
they're
Not
very great.
memorable.
So we actually saw this, and my wife's uncle's a dentist, and he had sent one. And I was like, I called him, I was like, what is that? Why is there an avocado on there? What does that even mean? It's like a cartoon avocado. And then it struck me. So the gist of this is that we have children in need of support. So these are children, low income, free and reduced lunches at schools. Any foster children, adopted children, right out of the gate are eligible, and they provide the artwork. We're starting out with, aren't these
I know,
cute?
love them.
Right. For veterinarians, for optometrists, and for dentists is where we're going to start. We're expanding out. We already have plans to expand out to like a general thank you for letting us serve you card. So,
Okay.
an auto body or whoever could send them out. But they're just postcards that you'd normally get in the mail. And what happens is a portion of the profit, a portion of the proceeds is set aside for that specific child.
Who created the artwork?
That creates the artwork. And when they turn 18, then they get that money. So no family member can come in. It can't be harvested from them. It is protected until they're 18, and then they have a little bit of a jump start. So We figured it's money that's being spent anyway, right?
Right.
These cards are being bought and sent out anyway, so why not
And these
make
are
them
cute.
in a way? Right? Isn't
These
it?
make you smile.
Yeah, exactly. Make it a little more meaningful. So.
Well, I know. Well, I think this is a great idea. Very clever. We're definitely going to make sure that you have the information that you need so that you can contact
Yeah.
Howie.
We're still in the process
Yes,
of
it's
launching
okay.
that
That's all right.
now.
It's
so,
good.
Yeah,
It's
it'll
good.
take a minute. But.
And then in closing, there was one other thing that you wanted to tell us about.
Yeah, so we also were lucky enough to be awarded a grant from Staunton Farm, and it's spectacular. We put a proposal in, and we've been working with CYS of Butler County. We identified a gap where, and we'll be filling that gap for foster parenting. So when a child is removed from a home, sometimes they have to wait several hours, and the placement sometimes is based on availability rather than fit. So what we're looking to do is streamline that and have kind of an interim foster family, a list of folks who will always say yes. They can always say yes, and they can they'll have them for up to 72 hours, which allows the organizations then to step back, find a better long-term fit for the family. And there's all kinds of community involvement in this that's
Right.
outside of the foster thing as
Sure.
well. And we can get into that another time.
Oh,
if you'd
please,
like to
will
do
you come
that.
back?
Absolutely. I'll come
All
back
right.
every week.
Well, you can tell Howie and his team, because everybody, it does take a village, right, to get all these things done.
Yeah.
And I'm sure people that are going to be inspired by learning more about what you're doing and want to get involved. So thank you again for coming, and good luck.
Great. Thank you.
Right, everybody
Thanks for
needs to
having
get their eyes checked out,
Yeah,
right?
and get your dogs to the vet. And all kinds of things, yeah.
All right, thank you. Thanks for watching this episode of the Butler Buzz. If you want to see more, just click on the playlist button up here. To keep up to date with all of Armstrong Neighborhood Channel, click on the subscribe button down here. Hey, I suggest you do both. See you next time.